Assassin's Creed Rogue is a breath of fresh air, and is in no way a copycat of AC Black Flag. Okay, let me explain. When you think of AC Rogue, the first thing that comes to mind is how similar it is to its predecessor. And that's what I thought too. You know, they have the same animations, the same reused assets, even the exploration seems identical. But I recently replayed the remastered because when I was younger, Rogue was my favorite game and I wanted to know why I preferred it over the critically acclaimed AC4. So I sat down, replayed it, and it felt different from any other game that I've played in the series. And I know it's a bold statement, but AC Rogue took everything that worked in AC4 and made its own version of the game. But you're asking, why is it a breath of fresh air? Well, AC Black Flag was and is a masterpiece of a game, and when Ubisoft had to make a game in only 8 months, it was inevitable that Rogue would have suffered from it. But they managed to make the game feel different from AC4. For example, the game shares a few tools from Black Flag but also introduces us to brand new ones, like the suppressed air rifle, which serves as a blow dart, but when you go further in the story, you unlock more upgrades and it becomes a grenade launcher. Which is cool. It is something that we never seen in an Assassin's Creed game before, and that we have only seen it again in Unity with the guillotine. On top of that, the game feels more polished and fluid, and the naval gameplay has been revamped. In fact, the Morrigan feels more maneuverable than the Jackdaw, and it is also equipped with a new Paco gun that feels like a machine gun, but it's very useful for taking down big ships and fortresses. And we can now release fire barrels to set on fire the ocean and make it hell. Also, the setting is quite the opposite from Black Flag, where we followed Edward into the Caribbean Sea, a very colorful, hot, and beautiful scenery with small towns, jungles, islands, beaches, while this game is set in the North Atlantic, a very dark and cold place with frozen waters and snowy places. Perfect for telling Shay's story in my opinion. We are set in New York, a bigger city compared to Kingston or Havana, and we can also visit the river valley and the Arctic. And speaking of the Arctic, the sea section of this game differ a lot from Black Flag. You know, the Caribbean Sea was a dangerous place, but the Arctic was way worse. In this game, the naval section are made more interesting and difficult by the natural formation of the ice in the sea, which result in icebergs and large chunks of sea covered in ice. Which, by the way, you can explore. And it's awesome. I mean, just see what I did here and tell me if it's not incredible. There are also huge tornadoes borrowed from Black Flag, but also snowstorms, which make navigation more difficult. I mean, the wind always blows against your ship, and really going around with your ship has never been so challenging. Parkour also received a new update, and we can now interact with the different elements in New York City that adds more depth into parkour, such as flags, ropes, and a new version of the lifts which looks awesome. And don't forget the hooks. But all that aside, the thing that stands out the most in this game is the story. For the first time, we are not playing as an assassin, we play as a Templar that not only is a Templar but also was an assassin himself. We play as Shay Patrick Cormac, an assassin who saw the flaws in the system of the Brotherhood and was betrayed and killed because of this. Now reborn Templar, he hunts down the ones he called brothers. A character that needed to experience the life of an assassin before becoming a Templar, just like we did when we played the older games. We know how the Brotherhood operates, we know their techniques, just like Shay, because both us and Shay came from an assassin past. The lack of this game is that it allows us to experience both points of view, and having a Templar that was trained by the assassins just feels interesting enough to keep the player engaged. Because all what Shay does in the story is driven by his connection to the Brotherhood and his past as an assassin. And having the advantage to be a Templar consists in a lot of different and new game mechanics, because now our enemy is the Brotherhood, and not only they are our enemy, but we are also being hunted by them, because we are too powerful to stay alive. So when we are roaming around we need to stay alert, because we can get ambushed and many times killed by an assassin that was hiding somewhere. I will never forget the sense of danger I feel when I'm walking in New York, especially in the first few hours of the game. You're just roaming around and all of a sudden you start to hear some whispering. But when you get closer, the sound becomes more and more pronounced. The screen starts to go wider and wider. And then...
Now you see me? Now you got...
an assassin just pops out of nowhere and tries to kill you. And sometimes I get jump scared. This is pure anxiety for me. This is what we were doing in the other games when we played as Edward, Connor, Altair and Ezio. But now we are the victim of the Brotherhood. But also the hunter at the same time, because we too are after them, and Shay would never sit and watch an assassin kill him. We can detect them with our upgraded eagle vision and kill them before they know where we are. That is some next level revenge if you ask me. And this kind of mechanic gives us new ways to play the game and new ways to assassinate someone. I mean, it's the only game where I can assassinate someone in a haystack. I don't believe it's in any other AC games. And remember when in AC4 we had the assassination contracts? Well, we can't have it in this game because we are not assassin. But we can intercept them. And boy, let me tell you, it is fun. It's fun because this time we're not assassinating someone, but we are protecting someone from the assassins. And we need to kill all of them before the timer runs out, or they will start sprinting to their target and kill him. It's really the old assassination missions just proposed in a different perspective. And it changes the gameplay completely. And it's fun because the assassins don't just stay in one place and when the timer runs out they start moving. No, they move around trying to get to their target as fast as possible. And you need to be fast and efficient, and many times calculating, because a lot of time you're surrounded by guards, and if you kill an assassin in front of them, they will start a fight, and finishing that fight will take some of your remaining time and might make you fail the mission. Not only that, but just going around playing as a well-trained Templar, reborn to hunt down the Brotherhood, just makes you feel powerful. I mean, I can talk forever about this game, because it's so different from the others. It's a brand new experience. Even for today, after all the different games we got, Rogue still feels brand new, fresh, to me at least. And now, for the last part. Rogue has a big advantage to use against the other AC games, and is that it is a smaller and more condensed game than the others. And I know sometimes the story might feel a little bit rushed, but remember that this game was made in only 8 months. And I must say that they made a pretty good job with the time they had. And all in all, I am grateful for what we got in Rogue. I mean, I'm grateful we got Rogue. The story is more focused on Shay and how he makes his own luck. No, I'm kidding. The story is more focused on Shay and his relationship with the Brotherhood and how he overcomes his existential crisis, which is interesting to see. It's interesting to see a man ask himself several times in the story if what he's doing is right. Really, this game questions a lot about the Creed and makes us wonder if there really is a good and bad side, or if they're just two sides of the same coin. It's an interesting story that I really recommend you checking it out if you haven't. And I'm not going to get full into the story here because I'm working on another video about why Shay decided to join the Templars instead of creating a new order, which heavily implies his journey through the game that I don't want to spoil here. So if you're interested, the video is going to be out in a week or two. And that's basically how much I love this game. I just want to say 2 more things before the end of the video. The first is that with Mirage coming out in less than a week, I am really hoping for a great game, since it's giving me a lot of AC Rogue vibes about being a smaller and more narrative focused game. And the gameplay looks fluid and fun, so can't wait for that. And second, but most importantly, thanks a lot for watching this video. It's my first video here on the channel, so I'm still kinda new to this thing, but I'm really hoping you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. And I can't wait to share more videos with you guys. I'm really believing in this, and I have a lot of interesting ideas in the works, and you know, suggestions are open, so go wild in the comments. And that's all. Really, thanks and have an amazing day, Templars.